This Week in Real Pirateball, documenting the 2010 Pittsburgh Pirates baseball season. And here's your host, Greg Mercer.
What's up, everybody? It's Mercer here with Week 5 of This Week in Real Pirateball. You know the drill by now, so let's go ahead and get into it right now. There's no better way to start off than by talking about the Pirates starters, who were far and away the big story of Week 5. Coming into this week, the Pirates' various starters had a combined ERA of .795, which was worst in baseball by 2 runs, and a record of 2-15. Even pitchers were getting multiple hits off these guys for the first few weeks. I mean, does this phase strike fear into the hearts of hitters? For whatever reason this week, the pitchers put everything together. Over a 5-game rotation period, the starters combined to go 4-1 with a 1.15 ERA.
It's a miracle. It's a miracle. It's a miracle. It's a miracle.
Brian Burris and Jeff Carsons both put together good outings this week. Neither of them allowed a run in 13 innings, and their combined whip was .86, which is ridiculously good. John Russell decided that Burris will stay in the rotation when Ross Ohlendorf comes off the disabled list on Monday. Being left-handed, Burris has an advantage at PNC Park with that spacious left field. The Pirates owned the Chicago Cubs this week in a 3-game series sweep at PNC Park. The first 2 games were classic low-scoring pitchers' duels, which so far the Pirates have dominated this year. On Tuesday, the Pirates got a quality start from Paul Maholm and a game-winning home run in a 3-2 win. Charlie Morton looked much improved in his start on Wednesday, getting his first win of the year. He was getting his breaking pitches to fall in for strikes and got ahead of the majority of hitters. The bullpen trio of Meek, Hanrahan, and Dotel closed down both of the first 2 games and looked pretty impressive doing it. On Wednesday, the bats woke up to the tune of an 11-1 stomping. If you can believe it, they did this without hitting a single home run. Stringing hits together is something the Pirates haven't been known to do over the past couple of years, so when it happens, it's worthy of note. Let's talk about the guy who was slated to be the 4th outfielder for the Pirates this year, Ryan Church.
And now it's time for Church Chat.
Even though he only batted .200 in the 4 games he started this week, his hits answered quite a few Pirates fans' prayers. Church was the offensive hero in the win against the Cubs on Tuesday. He was stricken by a plague of illness earlier in the day, but his heavenly powers enabled him to lift a home run over the Clemente wall, scoring the game-winning runs.
Well, isn't that special?
He also smited the Cubs in Wednesday's game by offering another ball to the congregation in right field. I wonder what pitcher won the game on Wednesday. I don't know. Could it be Morton? Lastings Millage was one of the players the Pirates expected to break out this year. So far this year, Millage has been better at break dancing out on the field as opposed to breaking out. He's only batting .243 and he's shown no signs of hitting for any power whatsoever, as he has no home runs so far.
But wait, there's more.
Millage has been absolutely awful on the base paths this year. He just doesn't pay attention to what's happening out on the field. On Wednesday, he thought he hit a home run, but the ball actually went off the wall. As he trotted around the bases with his hand in the air, the ball was coming back to the infield, and Lastings was tagged out between 2nd and 3rd. On Friday, he broke one of the cardinal rules of running to third base on a ball that was hit in front of him. Lucky for Lastings, the third baseman wasn't thinking and threw to first, but he would have easily been caught in a rundown between 2nd and 3rd.
I'm not finished yet. Wait. It's going to get better.
While he does have 2 outfield assists so far this year, his fielding has been absolutely atrocious. He cuts straight across the field on balls that are obviously going to go past him, which turns singles into doubles. I think I've seen him do this about 10 times already. Then there was Millage doing his best Chubby Checker impression on a horribly misplayed ball on Sunday. But hey, I think the Pirates are pretty lucky to have such a fashionable guy out there on the field. Have you ever seen Millage's snazzy yellow cleats? I mean, he's really styling out there when he botches a play. Every time I see Millage with those shoes, I just can't stop hearing that classic song from the 90s.
I just want someone to say to me, I'll always be there when you wait. You know I like to keep my cheeks dry today. So stay with me and I'll have it made.
This week, Steve Pearce was called up from AAA when Brendan Donnelly was put on the disabled list. The Pirates were impressed with his .349 batting average at Indianapolis and felt that he had the best chance of helping the team right now. It's no surprise that he got a few starts this week over Jeff Clement when the opposition started a left-handed pitcher. Of course, the Pirates claim that their opening day starting first baseman was out of the lineup because he needs to work on his swing mechanics for a few days. Clement's hitting .173. Come on, you aren't fooling me. You're afraid that your awesome plan of starting a 26-year-old former number 3 overall drafted catcher-turned-first baseman isn't going to work. I think most knowledgeable Pirates fan knew this wasn't going to fly and expected Clement to end up on the bench. You'll see that very prediction on my 2010 Pirates Baseball Primer. Check that out if you haven't done it already. Friday's game versus the Cardinals was an abysmal display of baseball by the Pirates. They did everything in their power that they could possibly do to lose the game, which they did 4-3. Zach Duke didn't really pitch that badly, but his defense didn't help him at all. Ronnie Cedeno botched a play trying to get the final out of the first inning, which led to 2 unearned runs. Later, Andy LaRoche made an error at third base that cost the Pirates another run. To add insult to injury on that scoring play, Garrett Jones cut the throw off to home but didn't bother to look at the runner going to second behind him. This mental mistake gave the Cardinals another runner in scoring position, although he didn't end up scoring. The absolute worst blunder of the game came in the 8th inning. Andy LaRoche was at third and Andrew McCutchen was on first. Garrett Jones hit the ball back to the pitcher and LaRoche got caught in a rundown. McCutchen figured Andy would be out, so he ran to third base. The problem was that Andy didn't give himself up before going back there. So as LaRoche stepped on third, Yadier Molina tagged McCutchen out because LaRoche was entitled to the base. LaRoche, not realizing that McCutchen was the one that was out, stepped off the base, at which point Molina tagged LaRoche for a double play. As the Cardinals jumped for joy at the Pirates' lack of fundamental knowledge of the rules of baseball, the Pirates lost 2 base runners. How can the Pirates make stupid mental mistakes like this every year and expect to be a winning team? This was a classic game in the 17-year history of Pirates ineptitude and could have easily been mistaken for a Three Stooges movie. Let's go to the chalkboard and look at some of the other newsworthy events from the Cardinals series. The Pirates looked like a completely different team on Saturday in defeating the Cardinals 2-0. To go with Jeff Carston's strong start, backup catcher Jason Jaramillo had 3 hits. The bullpen once again looked extremely sharp in the late innings. Joel Hanrahan was instrumental in the victory as he struck out Albert Pujols with 2 men on to preserve the lead going into the 9th inning. On Sunday, the Pirates were obliterated by Adam Wainwright and the Cardinals 11-4. So far this year on Sundays, the Pirates have a record of 1-4. Akinori Iwamura led off on Sunday and went 0-4, lowering his batting average to .187. He's just not doing it at the bat or in the field. He made a terrible attempted tag during a stolen base attempt on Friday's game, and that runner ended up scoring the winning run. Iwamura looks extremely slow, and he has no range at second base, and is looking more and more like a washed-up veteran that the Pirates spent $5 million on to shore up a hole.
I can't stand it anymore!
Now it's time for my Bet Against the Pirates update for Week 5. Thanks to a sweep of the Cubs and some crappy odds against the Cardinals, I had a pretty down week. The Pirates went 4-2 this week, and I went 2-4 on my bets. Both of those wins were moneyline bets. I lost $57.71 this week, which puts me at a loss of $50.45. Luckily, I bet the moneyline on Friday in a 1-run loss, or I would have lost even more money this week. Generally, the Pirates play pretty well for the first few months of the season, and then they start to fall away. I'm hoping that trend continues, because the longer the Pirates stay at 500, the more money I'm going to lose. I'm not giving up my hope yet. There's still 131 games left, so I'm still fairly confident that I'll come out making money if I just stay the course. What do I think about the Pirates this week? It's been their MO for the entire season so far to either play pretty well or pretty crappy. Thanks to a good week of pitching, the Pirates are at 14-16 and continue to stay afloat in the middle of the NL Central pack. Next week, the Pirates will welcome back Ross Ohlendorf as they finish out a 9-game homestand with 3 games against the Reds. The Pirates will then have to travel to the Windy City for 3 more games against the Cubs. These are teams the Pirates can definitely beat, but if the Pirates pitching staff falters or the road woes continue, it could be a long week for the team. Well, that about does it for this week. Make sure you come back next week for another edition of This Week in Real Pirateball. I'm Greg Mercer. Later.